Here I'm going to give you an example of a problem where I've created an algorithm, and from that algorithm I've created source code. So I want you to see what this looks like because it's the same process you'll be following for the project in this module. So here's the problem. An employee earns $32,500 annually. Write a program that determines and displays what the amount of their gross pay will be for each pay period if they're paid twice a month, which is 24 checks per year, and if they're paid bi-weekly, which is 26 checks per year. So if you look at this, you have to determine and display what the amount of the gross pay will be if they're paid twice a month or if they're just paid bi-weekly. So here's one sample algorithm. So a couple of things you noted. The steps are numbered. They should be numbered. It's not a paragraph. And I start by just getting information. I need to know what the annual pay is in this case, which is $32,500. I'm going to calculate two values. I'm going to calculate what I'm calling the gross pay 24. That's just a name that I made up. It's going to become a variable in my program, but you can call it whatever you want in your algorithm. And I want to show the calculation for that, which is going to be the annual pay divided by 24. And you'll notice here, this is annual pay. This is the same annual pay that I'm talking about. So you want to keep your names consistent throughout the algorithm. I'm also going to calculate the gross pay 26, which is the annual pay divided by 26. And then I'm going to display both of those values. So that's a perfectly good algorithm. In this example here, I'm just showing you another format you could use. This is more like an outline form. So the three main steps to any algorithm when you're writing a simple program like we are is to get information, perform calculations, and display your results. So this is just more like, as I said, an outline. So I'm going to get the annual pay, and I might probably want to just add in here what that's going to be. Perform the calculations. Again, I'll show my two calculations and then I'll list what I'm going to display. So the idea is to take this algorithm and from that to actually write your code. So if I look at the algorithm, I kind of have an idea that I'm going to need three different variables in that program, so that might be where I start. Right? I've got three separate variables, right? Annual pay, gross pay 24, and gross pay 26. Remember, all the variables that you use have to be declared, and that's what I'm doing here in this declaration statement. Okay. Then we're going to calculate, we're going to get the annual pay, which is going to be $32,500. And in C++, we assign values into variables using an assignment statement. So here I have my variable followed by the assignment operator, the value I'm going to store in it, and then a semicolon. Next, right, I've got my calculations. So I'm going to put my calculations, and again, those are assignment statements. Gross pay 24 is assign the value of the annual pay divided by 24 with a semicolon, and same thing for gross pay 26. And assignment statements always have one variable on the left, an assignment operator, right? That's what the equal sign is called in C++, followed by some value or an expression. So here we have a value, here we have a mathematical expression. And the last step in the algorithm is to display gross pay 24 and gross pay 26. And so that's what I'm doing in these cout statements. Now you want to make sure that your display looks like nice, neat, lined up. Somebody can look at it and see what it's doing. You don't want to just, display a bunch of numbers on the screen. So here I have a string that's going to say gross pay for 24 pay periods is, put a $sign there. Then I'm going to display what's stored in gross pay 24. And then I'm going to do the same thing for gross pay 26. So you should be familiar now with the format of the program, right? Your include statement, using namespace standard, int main, opening curly brace, system pause, return 0, and closing curly brace at the end. And here's where we write our code. So please use this as an example when you're working on the project in this module. And if you have any questions, let me know.